The night shift inside Imperial Deep Space Command was usually calm. Most officers spent these hours checking long-range scanners or reviewing old reports. Nothing exciting ever happened this late. But on this night, everything changed. At 2:14 a.m., a soft alarm blinked on the main screen. The sound was low at first, almost like a mistake. Sensor operator Leanne looked up with half-closed eyes, thinking the system was simply lagging again. But the warning message froze him in place. Unknown vessel detected, no data, no origin. He blinked twice, confused. Every known ship in the galaxy, human or alien, carried an identity code, but this object had none. It was a ghost on the scanners, a shape without name or record. Commander Rhea, who was reviewing patrol routes, turned sharply when she saw Leanne's expression. She walked closer and read the message, her eyes narrowing. "Show me the speed," she ordered. Leanne tapped the controls, and the numbers appeared. The unknown object was moving faster than anything the Empire had ever built, faster than alien slip engines. It did not make sense. Even the station's advanced sensors struggled to track it. The object kept jumping positions, almost like it was bending space around itself. Rhea straightened her back, feeling a cold shiver down her spine. She ordered a full system scan. The lights in the command room dimmed as the computers redirected all power to deep space detection. But the results were even stranger. The scanners could not lock onto the vessel. Its readings appeared, vanished, then appeared again in impossible places, almost like it was phasing in and out of reality. "You think it's a glitch?" one officer whispered. "No," Rhea said, her voice steady and cold. "This is deliberate." The Empire had fought many enemies across the stars. They had seen strange ships, strange weapons, strange life, but they had never seen something with zero signature. No heat, no engine trails, no radio signals, nothing. The object suddenly changed direction. It slowed down. Its path shifted directly toward the Imperial border outpost. The room filled with tension. Officers hurried to their stations, fingers shaking. If the object was hostile, the outpost would be the first to fall. "Open all observation cameras," Rhea commanded. The giant screens flickered, showing black space filled with stars. Then, for a brief moment, something appeared. A shape, smooth and sharp, like a blade made of dark metal, only visible when starlight touched it. Some officers gasped, others stepped back. The vessel looked alien, yes, but there was something strangely familiar too. Something about its design, its angles, its structure, as if it was partly human. "Why does it look like that?" Leanne whispered. Rhea did not answer. She stared at the screen, unable to look away. Her heart pounded slowly, like a drum in an empty hall. Then the lights flickered. The unknown vessel had changed speed again. This time it moved gently, almost like it was trying not to scare them. It drifted near the border outpost, watching, studying, observing. Communications officers tried sending messages, no response. Scanners attempted to read it, no success. The ship remained silent, completely silent. The tension inside the station grew heavier. Everyone felt like the air had turned colder, as if the ship's presence alone changed the space around them. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the vessel shimmered softly, and for a final second, its whole hull became clear. The design was unmistakable now. It looked human, but from a future far beyond their understanding. Commander Rhea whispered the first thought that entered her mind. "This is not possible." And before anyone could respond, the unknown ship powered up, and every sensor in the station went dark at the same time. The command center fell into darkness for 3 long seconds. Only the emergency lights flickered weakly, coloring every face in pale red. Some officers grabbed their consoles in panic. Others stared at the black screens, unable to understand what just happened. Then the power returned with a loud hum. One by one, the systems but every scanner still showed the same impossible message. Target, nitrogen monoxide. Signal, nitrogen monoxide. Energy, nitrogen monoxide. Life. The unknown vessel was right outside the border outpost. Yet the sensors claimed it was not even there. It floated like a shadow without weight, without presence. A ghost ship drifting in the cold darkness. Commander Rhea leaned forward, trying to read the faint readings on her screen. "Why can't we detect it?" she whispered. "It is close enough to touch." Sensor operator Leanne shook his head. "It's like the ship is removing itself from our instruments," he said quietly, not hiding, erasing. Outside, the vessel moved with slow, controlled grace. No engines burned, no lights shone. It drifted as if space itself carried it. Every movement seemed deliberate, almost intelligent. Rhea gave the order for a small scout ship to approach the unknown object. The Marines inside the scout ship prepared nervously, their armor humming softly as systems activated. Many of them had faced alien threats before, but none had ever approached something that had no signature at all. As the scout ship moved closer, the unknown vessel reacted, not with weapons, not with aggression, but by mirroring the scout ship's path. Every angle, every turn, every speed change perfectly matched. "It's studying us," Lian said, his voice barely a whisper. No one disagreed. The command center watched the screens with rising fear. The silent vessel copied the scout ship like a reflection in dark water, but its movements were smoother, more precise. It was clear the unknown ship had far superior control, almost like it was not using engines at all. Then something happened. A faint pulse rippled from the vessel. It rolled across space like a slow heartbeat, soft, rhythmic, alive. The pulse hit the scout ship first, then the outpost, then the command station. None of the systems were damaged, but every officer felt a small vibration in their chest, as if the pulse touched them directly. "What was that?" Rhea asked. Her voice carried a mixture of fear and fascination. The Empire's AI analyzed the pulse, spinning through millions of patterns and languages, but the answer shocked everyone. "It is not an attack," the AI said. "It is a signal." Lian frowned. "A signal from what?" The AI paused, its digital voice hesitating. "From something biological." For a moment, the entire command center went silent, a ship sending a heartbeat, a vessel communicating like a living creature. Rhea ordered immediate analysis, but before human eyes could read the data, an old linguist, Professor Hale, stepped forward. His hands trembled as he listened to the soft repeating pulse. "It sounds familiar," he said. "It is like ancient human distress code." Everyone stared at him in disbelief. "How can that be human?" Rhea asked. "No lost colony had this level of technology." Hale shook his head slowly. "I don't know," he whispered. "But the pattern, the rhythm, it is calling for help." The command center felt heavier. The unknown ship pulsed again, this time stronger, as if it was trying to reach them. Then, without any warning, a glowing slit opened on the hull of the silent vessel, thin and bright, like an eye slowly waking up, and it turned directly toward the scout ship. The room froze, every heartbeat rising in fear. The silent ship was no longer just watching. It was focusing, choosing, studying humanity with an intelligence far beyond their own. The glowing slit on the unknown vessel widened slowly. Its light was soft but unnerving, like a single eye opening after a long sleep. Inside the command center, no one moved. Every officer watched the screens as if one wrong breath could trigger disaster. Commander Rhea stood completely still. Her mind raced with possibilities. Was the ship preparing a weapon, sending a message, or simply observing them more closely? The scout ship hovered only a few hundred meters away from the silent vessel. The Marines inside held their breath. One of them whispered through the comms, "It feels like it's looking right through us." Then it happened. The unknown vessel released another pulse, but this time it was not sound, not energy, not light. It was something else, something that touched the mind, not the body. Every officer in the command center felt a sudden pressure behind their eyes. A soft whisper brushed against their thoughts, like memories trying to surface, but they were not human memories. They were visions of places no one had ever seen, flashes of burning cities under dark skies, oceans turning red as fire rained from above, stars collapsing in the distance like dying lanterns. The images were overwhelming and terrifying. Officers gasped and grabbed the sides of their desks. One collapsed to the floor, shaking. Rhea fought to stay upright. She pushed the visions back with all her strength. "What is this?" she whispered. The ship was not attacking. It was trying to show something. Professor Hale stepped forward, gripping the console for balance. His voice trembled. "It's communicating through memory, not language." He wiped sweat from his forehead. "It is trying to warn us." The AI systems flickered rapidly as they tried to translate the psychic signal. The lights blinked, screens flashed. Then a message appeared in broken digital text. "We ran from what is coming, you will face it next." A chill spread across the command room. No one spoke. Everyone understood the meaning. This ship, whatever it was, whatever it had become, was running from something powerful, something destructive, something that destroyed worlds. Rhea felt her heart thudding in her chest. "Is this a threat?" she asked quietly. Professor Hale shook his head. No, it is a warning. Before Rhea could respond, the unknown vessel suddenly dimmed. The glowing slit closed. The light vanished. The psychic pressure stopped at once. The silence that followed was terrifying. Is it shutting down? Lian asked. He leaned closer to the scanner. It looks dormant. The vessel now floated completely still. Its hull dark, its presence silent, almost like it was asleep. Rhea ordered the scouts to fall back, but just as they pulled away, the unknown ship pulsed again. Not with light, not with energy, but with multiplication. In a single, impossible moment, the ship split. 1 became 2, 2 became 4, each copy identical. Same shape, same size, same markings, as if the universe simply duplicated the vessel like a reflection in shattered glass. Gasps echoed across the command center. No way, Lian whispered. Are they illusions? Negative, the AI answered. All 4 are real. Rhea stepped forward, unable to look away from the screens. Her voice was hoarse. What kind of technology can do this? No one had an answer. The 4 vessels drifted in perfect formation, silent, watching, unmoving, as if waiting for humanity's next move. Rhea finally spoke the words everyone was afraid to say. There is something out there, something these ships fear. And as the 4 silent vessels glowed faintly again, everyone felt the same cold truth in their bones. Whatever was coming for them had already arrived in the galaxy. The 4 identical vessels floated in perfect formation. No sound, no energy, no movement. They looked like statues carved from the darkness of space. But every officer inside the command center felt something shifting in the air. A quiet pressure, a silent warning. Commander Rhea watched the screens with cold focus. Her mind replayed the translated message again and again. We ran from what is coming. You will face it next. These words echoed in her bones like a distant storm. Sensor operator Lian checked the readings again. All 4 ships are stable, he said. No changes in energy, no signs of attack, but his voice trembled. Something about the formation felt deliberate, like the vessels were preparing for something the Empire could not see. The AI flashed new alerts across the screens. A faint disturbance had appeared far beyond the borders of human space. A ripple in the fabric of space, soft, slow, but growing. It was too distant for normal scanners, but the unknown vessels reacted instantly. All 4 ships turned at the same time, their movements perfect, synchronized. They all pointed toward the same direction, deep into uncharted space, as if they sensed something long before human instruments did. Professor Hale stared at the readings with wide eyes. They are positioning themselves, he whispered. Like a shield. Rhea felt a cold fear settling in her stomach. If they are forming a shield, she said softly, then something is coming toward us. The lights dimmed as long-range sensors activated at full power. The room vibrated from the intense energy use. Lines of data streamed across the screens. Then suddenly they froze. A single massive object appeared on the deep space map. Far away, but moving fast. Faster than anything they knew. Gasps filled the room. It's enormous, Lian said, his voice cracking. It's bigger than our largest dreadnought by entire miles. The object had no shape, no clear structure, just a shadow, a dark mass spreading across the stars. It absorbed light, swallowed signals, and dragged a wave of distortion behind it. Rhea gripped the console tightly. What is that? She muttered. Her voice was almost a whisper. It looks like a moving void. The AI struggled to scan it. Every attempt failed. Unknown composition. The AI said, unknown structure, unknown origin, and unknown hunger. The last word sent chills through everyone. The 4 vessels near the outpost brightened with sudden energy. Their hulls glowed faintly with white and blue patterns. Symbols flowed across their surface like living circuits. It was the first time they showed any sign of power. They were waking up, preparing. Rhea realized the truth. These vessels were survivors. They had escaped the dark mass. They came here not to attack, but to brace for what was following them. We have to warn the Empire, she said, her voice steadier now. Center full alert. Communications officers moved quickly. Messages spread across human space like a shockwave. Every fleet, every colony, every station received the same urgent call. Unknown threat approaching, high danger. But as the warnings spread, the dark mass accelerated. Its distortion grew sharper, like claws scraping against the fabric of reality. The 4 vessels moved again. They shifted into a tight diamond formation. Their glow intensified. For the first time, they looked ready for battle. Professor Hale stepped back from the screen, his voice trembling. "They are not protecting themselves, they are protecting us." Commander Rhea stared at the approaching shadow, her heart heavy with the weight of what she saw. This was not an enemy fleet, not a simple creature, not even an alien ship. It was something far older, far larger, a force that consumed entire civilizations. "It found us," Rhea whispered, "and now, it is coming to finish the job." Outside the window, the unknown vessels glowed brighter, waiting, preparing, standing as the first and only line of defense. And humanity finally understood the truth. The real war had not yet begun. The dark mass moved through space like a living storm, silent, massive, unstoppable. Its shadow swallowed stars. Its presence twisted every signal the Empire tried to send. Nothing could read it, nothing could measure it. It was a force the universe itself seemed afraid of. Inside the Imperial Command Center, fear spread like cold wind. Officers rushed between consoles. Warning messages flashed across every screen. Every fleet across human space was preparing for war, but no one knew if even 1,000 ships could stop what was coming. Commander Rhea stood in the center of the room, her face calm but her eyes sharp with determination. She watched the 4 unknown vessels as they formed their glowing diamond shape. Their hulls pulsed with blue-white light. Symbols shifted across their surface like running water. They looked alive, more like ancient guardians than machines. "Are they communicating again?" Rhea asked. The AI processed the incoming energy patterns. "Yes," it replied. "They are sending coordinates to every human system." The coordinates appeared on the screens, hundreds of them, each marking a possible defensive position, a strategy, a plan. The unknown vessels were guiding humanity, teaching them how to survive. Professor Hale stared at the symbols with awe. "They are preparing us for war," he whispered, "not against them, but against the thing that destroyed their world." The dark mass grew larger on the deep space map. Its speed increased. The distortion surrounding it spread like wings made of shadow. Whatever it was hungry, and it was coming straight for the heart of human space. The Empire's main fleet arrived near the border outpost. Warships stretched across the black void. Dreadnoughts, cruisers, carriers, and defense platforms. Their armor glowed with combat energy. Turrets rotated toward the incoming threat. Torpedo bays opened. Thousands of pilots waited in their cockpits. The entire fleet looked like a wall of steel and fire, but compared to the dark mass, they looked impossibly small, like sparks in front of a collapsing sun. Rhea watched as the unknown vessels began to transform. Their hulls expanded and shifted. New layers unfolded like petals of a metal flower. Their glow intensified until they looked like 4 stars burning in formation. They were preparing for a fight beyond anything humanity had ever seen. One vessel sent a final message to the Empire's AI. A short line of translated text appeared. "We stand with you." The command center grew silent. Every officer felt the weight of those words. For survivors from a dead civilization, standing beside humanity in its darkest moment, the dark mass finally reached visible range of the fleet. Space bent around it. Stars behind it warped into strange shapes. The object released a low, deep vibration, a sound that was not heard through ears, but felt through bones, like the universe itself was trembling. The first tendrils of shadow extended outward, thin at first, then multiplying, like a swarm. Thousands of smaller shapes broke off from the mass, each one fast, sharp, and deadly. Rhea clenched her fists. "This is it," she whispered. "The war begins now." The unknown vessels reacted instantly. Their glowing hulls burst with expanding rings of energy. They rushed forward, faster than any human ship could move. Their light cut through the darkness like blades. "Fleet, open fire," Rhea ordered, her voice steady, strong, unshaken. Every Imperial warship unleashed its weapons. Laser beams, rail slugs, plasma bursts, torpedoes. The black space lit up like a burning sky. The enemy swarm collided with the first defensive line. Explosions filled the void. The battle had begun. For the first time in history, humanity did not stand alone. 4 unknown vessels fought beside them. 4 survivors of a forgotten civilization. And together they faced the shadow that consumed galaxies. The fate of the Empire hung in the balance. And the first battle of a long, terrifying war had only just begun.